Hello.
Hi, Alberto. Chris, Ib.
Hello. All right. So yeah, welcome to the mid-March edition of our bi-weekly meeting. I see we have good attendance today. So we have obviously we're in the exciting time of the release process of our big frameworks. But before we go into that, we have a guest speaker. So we have a member of the community, and yeah, we have Changji from UF here in Florida, and I've developed a really cool application, and we got in touch, a couple of weeks ago, and Changji offered to come and present what is built on WebGL. So please go ahead.
Thank you so much. I don't know if I could share my screen because that allows me to better drive the presentation.
Yeah, for sure.
Thank you. Just one second, I'll put it up. So it's the same presentation. Okay, thanks again for letting me present. I feel this is like sending an update back to the mothership. My name is Changji Chen. I'm a researcher at the University of Florida, and specifically Florida Institute for Built Environmental Resilience, aka FIBER. So at FIBER, what we do, our top priority is to enhance community resilience locally in Florida. And it is not at all intentional, but a lot of our work right now is focusing on coastal communities. And Florida does have has the longest shoreline in contiguous US, and over 16 million people living in coastal area. So it is quite a paramount task for us to do. So today I want to share how various features of WebGL elevated our efforts in terms of talking to the community, reaching out, and do the engagement work. So it starts with, we got 2 grants from the Department of Environment Protection that asks us to do some vulnerability assessments in coastal communities. That is Cedar Key, which is a very small community, and Port St. Joe, that is on the Panhandle area. So which this task entails first exposure analysis that basically we need to understand the risks, the spatial extent and the level of exposure. And then secondly, the sensitivity analysis to create an inventory of critical assets and do a quantified measure of what is the impacts and what is kind of the exposure. So usually how people do this is that they do GS analysis and write a report, send back to the agency, and then be done with it. So our work, it differentiated itself is that we created this app, and because we believe that the resilience planning does require direct engagement with communities. So what we want to achieve basically is to raise awareness of potential risks. What we want to do is transform complex multifaceted data into an interactive and self-guided learning experience. So we also believe in that we want to encourage a sense of autonomy in terms of information retrieval, which we believe that will boost the trust and a more profound understanding of the insights presented in the data. So here we have shows a couple of images from the public workshop we conducted. You can see that users are using the data. So what we did is that we actually, before the public events, we gave them access to our app. And then, so without any person like leading them or showing them or telling them what to see, they have this tons of information, and then they start to explore themselves. And I think we found this way is very effective in terms of like discovery of risks and have a deeper perception of the risks. So, and then all of this requires us to have a tool that can do large scale data of diverse formats like point, line, polygon, and 2D raster tiles and 3D buildings to kind of create a compiling digital replica. So correct me if I'm wrong. I'm kind of using, I don't know if this is how the name of DeckGL was born. So it's kind of, we need a deck of layers to create this. So we developed this application, and it's kind of a very simple one. You guys probably have seen more sophisticated interfaces, but this basically consists of a map that is built with DeckGL and some higher level information that's not like maybe specific citizen, but for a government official that would interest. So we analyze different critical assets within, this is for Cedar Key. It is a kind of a small island and fishing industry community. And we embedded a lot of data into this. So although the interface is simple, the data we did is pretty extensive. So we also have a phase of like proposing adaptation projects. So this layer here, this photo here shows that what changes that we propose. I think the community really digs into it and found that it's very insightful. So here is the link to that application. Already open one. So basically that's the interface. The FDEP requires us to do today, 2040 and 2070 vulnerability assessments. And then we create this slider so that they can drag and see what kind of impact of different storm events in different years. So the thing that we learn is that people's perception of risk is different. It's individual. So it's like we gave them the option to be able to like toggle and turn on and off so that they understand and what a kind of risk that they are willing to deal with. So we also have this transportation layer because like at a critical event, for example, like a day before hurricane landing, they're like this, like I said, this is a fishing community. They need to know which roads are still navigable because they have a lot of like products that they need to make them safe before the hurricane lands. So we provide this information to them. And let me go back to presentation. So I want to, at the end, I want to share a little bit about my experience with DeckGL. So first, how I discovered DeckGL. I'm trained in urban planning and I have a statistics degree. So my only programming I use daily is Python and R. I have no JavaScript experience, not extensively at least. So what I started with is it's a library called Plotly. I don't know if you guys know about it. It's a Python library, allows you to write to create charts. And for me, writing papers, that will be enough. And when I get into this project, I need to create a more like geospatial data intensive app. And then I look alternatives to that, and I found there's a Python version binding of DACGL's PyDAC. So I started to look into that, and then I found that it's based on DACGL. So I discovered PyDAC first, and then coming back to DACGL. And then once I landed on the DACGL main page, this like all the examples shows up. I told this to Ib. All these examples that convinced me that, okay, this is what I want to use, although I don't have JavaScript skills at all. So I have a lot of hurdles to overcome. But I think the biggest reason that drives me is that after seeing this, I believe this would be the tool that I want to use. And also, as an academic, I searched that there's a paper about DACGL published in 2019, and it's well written, well constructed, and I cite a lot of this paper in my recent publication. So how did I get started? Like I said, I started with at the beginning. I started with PyDAC. And the DACGL JSON API helps me a lot because I can use the JSON, convert JSON specification to Python strings, and then be able to visualize and insert that into my existing app. So that was very helpful. And the prototyping examples on the website is definitely a big help. I can see different variations of how can present different types of data, and then also the versatility of DACGL. So you can use it in pure JavaScript or React. I don't know anything about React. So what challenges I faced is, well, the lesson I learned is that front-end development is a completely different ballgame. Like I said, I just trained myself. I didn't take any programming classes. I use programming just to create beautiful charts for my papers. But I managed, I think I started 2 years ago using DACGL, and it is quite nice experience. I overcome a lot of hurdles, of course, but I think I found a love of DACGL. And the second point is kind of a challenge, definitely not a complaint, is that because of this fascination about DACGL, I looked at its other modules related in the ecosystem. I found that, for example, Nebula GL is a great tool that if we could, but I don't think there's as comprehensive and as many examples as what we have in DACGL website. So I would like to include like interactive GeoJSON drawing capability into my application. So what's my next step is that I'm working on Florida Digital Dream project that is funded by the UF President Strategic Funding this year. So it is piloting a Jacksonville area study to create a digital twin. So here, this is kind of another prototyping. So we have like 3D data modeled for the entire Jacksonville area. So our study focused on, again, how storm events, and this is St. Johns River that goes right next to the downtown Jacksonville. And it has a lot of, when a hurricane comes or a heavy rain season, it can be flooded. And then on the north side of Jacksonville, there's some septic tanks that can spill over into the rivers and cause health issues. So we also include that with some health, correlate that with the health data. We have UF has a hospital here this one. In Jacksonville, we have emergency admission data from 2012. So we want to correlate that with the storm events and water treatment facility like sewage system and septic tanks. So that is where what I'm focusing on now, and I definitely want to improve my current app and then into a more use a lot of the other DeckGL functions I haven't used. For example, the first person view capability. I think that would be really helpful for my app.
So thank you, Shang-Jie, for the so in the interest of time. So I think this is really inspiring. There's also some parts that I know we talked about that we didn't cover here, like how you use different tools to produce to convert data into 3D tiles, and then you were able to visualize those point clouds and so on in DeckGL. So I think there's clearly a huge amount of work you've done, taking advantage of all the different tools we've built and pushing the limits. So it's very cool. Is there any questions? Quick question to Shang-Jie before we move back to the.
Would you mind sharing a link where we could find the demos or the paper you mentioned?
Yes, I will. I'll
That's
put it in the
wonderful.
chat.
Okay, thank you so much. This is great.
That's great. If you don't mind, I'd love to share information about your project too to our communities.
Yeah, please.
Great.
Thank you.
Great.
All right, thank you, Shang-Jie, and I hope you will continue to join our community here. And we're building this exactly for people like you. It's very rewarding to see what you've done. All right, Chris, can you get the material back? And so I think, Alberto, you have an announcement.
Yeah, I think that I have something to share today. That I am going to leave Carto, and I cannot continue working as in the technical steering committee because I am joining a new project that I am founding in something completely unrelated. It's a new tech travel tech company that I am funding. So I'm not going to be available to continue my roles and my duties in the technical steering committee. But I would like to propose today to my friend and colleague Felix that I think that he has been doing a great job during the last couple of years in DeckGL. And as part of the strategy at Carto continues exactly the same, that we are going to continue investing on DeckGL even a little bit farther with the incorporation of Don. Also Alex, that is today in the meeting, he's a product manager for app development that he is going to push different initiatives in the upcoming months. I would like to propose Felix for that position, and would like to hear your thoughts, guys.
Yeah, I'm definitely supportive of this. This sounds like a great opportunity for Felix, and I wish you the best, Alberto, on your next adventure.
Yeah, thank you very much. I would like to say also that has been an incredible time. Thank you so much, guys, for allowing me to enter here, and also all the people at Carto. That the landing on this project has been amazing. How we have been able to incorporate in this project, how have been able to change the visualization stack of Carto for VisGL, and how open has been this community to make this possible.
I want to thank Alberto for driving the Collab Summit last year in your leadership. So congratulations on your new adventure.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
So if you want me, I would like to open the pull request for Felix to keep that in the history that I am opening this thing to my friend Felix.
Is there anyone who feels we need more discussion on the replacement, or I think the people who it's really Chris, Xiaoji, and myself.
Yeah.
So
let's move on then.
I'm happy to have a meeting to discuss it. I would just say that I've really enjoyed working these last few years on DeckGL. This has been like by far like the smartest and most technical team that I've ever been part of. So I really see my future as contributing further to DeckGL. And while it's sad to see Alberto go from Kato, then the commitment of Kato to DeckGL is just like 100%, like all the way up to the leadership. It's something that our whole product is built on. So at least for me personally, I see a long future working on DeckGL and the whole VisGL ecosystem.
And from my side, I know we are a bit short on time, but I will just introduce myself. I'm Alex. I'm a senior product manager at Carto, and I just want to reinforce what Felix is saying. We of course we are sad to see Alberto go, but we are incredibly committed to this platform and this community. From my end, I will start slowly to introduce myself and help wherever I can. But I'm very happy to see also Felix stepping up, and very happy to be here in this community.
Great. Hope you guys continue. This has been kind of my baby with Kato, so let's continue pushing this. And yeah, I'm going to be around during the rest of the month, so I think that I will be able to coordinate the release also in the Kato side with DeckGL version 9 and so on.
Sounds awesome.
Sounds great. Thank you.
So the next thing we had on our agenda was related to the React Google Maps release. Do we want to spend time talking about that today? I'm not sure if I see the contributors for that project here. But I do see plenty of contributors for Deck V9, Luma V9, and all that here.
Right, so let's postpone if the Google Maps team wants some input, then I think they should be here. Right, so we have a big news, obviously. So Luma GL has released. So if you click, there's a link, so you should be able to. It was the usual circus with GitHub losing our domain, but Ben has been working tirelessly and was just able to restore it today. So we have the new website now, the Docusaurus website up with version 9 and plenty of information on.
Was it the same issue as before that we were missing CNAME, like in the gap of updating? And
yeah, I didn't have CNAME, and immediately they released it, but now they're much slower. Now they want 7 days to restore it. So
I have worked my internal channel and filed a complaint at GitHub.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, they need to have their ear pulled, I would say. It's been plaguing them for 10 years now, and it's just getting worse, But they have a really cool new feature that you can go in on the organization level and pre-authorize the domain. So Ben has done that for Luma, and he's going to do it for the other domains that have been transferred to the Linux Foundation, and hopefully that will prevent them from being given away from a framework that's part of that GitHub organization. So it should speed up. It's in the GitHub organization settings, but I don't think we have time to go in, but it's easy to find if you go to VisGL and you have the admin access there. Now so obviously there's a little bit of bugs being reported as, as a team, it integrates these Luma releases. So there's been a bunch of fixes and some patch releases going up. I've been trying to be responsive. I did quite a few patches yesterday. Unfortunately, I'm getting on a flight tonight. I'm going to be in Europe next week. So I'll be out for a week. But it seems to me that we're very close to the DeckGL V9 release. And I think, Shadri, you had some thoughts about how we would go about that release. Maybe you want to...
Yeah, my proposal is we do a silent release. So we do publish to NPM, but we don't publish the website yet. And we can take the next week or so, polish the documentation, and hopefully fix up some more examples, before we market it.
Yeah, that makes sense to me. I think that my major concern is to update the website because we also need to do some kind of announcement at Carto side, and we have some delays on the marketing side. So I think that makes sense that we can do the release, the silent release, and then we can coordinate for next week. Also, Alex, would be great if you can also synchronize in the DeckGL channel that we have in the Slack. To coordinate those things. That makes total sense for me.
And let's coordinate on our side with our marketing and PR folks too, to help on a blog. Are you all drafting a blog? Do you need help drafting a blog? What do you?
From the Carto side, I will be the one drafting a blog, and I would love to link that blog post in our site to the more open blog post on OpenJS. So let's stay in touch. I don't know if anybody is working on anything else, but from the Carto side, that will be me.
Yeah, but I think that the OpenJS will be incredible to try to promote the web GPU and position ourselves like the first visualization framework that is starting to follow the path of web GPU.
It's possible. Can you hear me?
Yeah, sorry.
It's possible that Foursquare marketing also wants a blog. So it may be nice to have blogs go out both on Carto and Foursquare and OpenJS at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
So unfortunately, I'm out next week, so it depends on how much time we're willing to wait. But after that, I can quickly.
Yeah, a little lead time would be good too. I'm at a conference next week, maybe. But you've already dropped it on the 12th? Or no? You haven't done the silent release yet. Why did I?
I mean, we've released LumaGL, which is kind of the base framework. We haven't released V9. But I think it's good to give it a week, to fix little bugs and so on before we, ask.
Or maybe like the following, like Tuesday after next.
I think that makes sense. That probably next week we can do the silent release this week. We can help work on the materials and so on for next week.
Yeah.
And the Tuesday after next week we can do everything.
Okay. Cool.
The 26th, right?
Yep, that's what I see.
Yeah.
Is there any other important matters? We're at time.
If the DeckGL silent release goes out and like the day after we realize we need an emergency Luma patch or something like that, is there anything about this LumaGL domain downtime that we would need credentials we don't have for while you're out?
Well, I mean, you'd need to do a manual republish of the website. So there was a automatic republishing task, but it was broken. I disabled it on the release branch. I'm publishing the website from master. And so you don't need to republish the website. You just need to republish to npm, right?
And I've done that like 20 times. So I'm pretty sure I can do it one more time. Yeah, maybe on the website, there'd be a bit of a delay. But in terms of pushing a dependency, I think we would be completely fine.
Yeah, and hopefully you'll be able to solve problems without making too egregious changes to the LumaGL architecture.
Okay, yeah, you write everything while you're gone, Ib. Port it back to JavaScript or something.
Exactly. All right.
Okay.
Good meeting. Thank you again, Alberto, for everything.
Thank you.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Thank you, everyone.
Thanks, Shanji. Yeah.